This store launched 6 months ago and has already made $200,000 so far and is now making over $30,000 a month. And what do they sell? Tumblers. And they're not the only one. This store launched a year ago and is making $12,000 a month. And this store launched in 2020 and has made nearly $3 million, selling $70,000 of tumblers each month. And there are other new stores already making strong sales. I think this is because tumblers still have lower competition than other products. For instance, t-shirts have nearly 10 million physical product listings on Etsy. Mugs have over 3 million listings, but tumblers have even less at 1.5 million listings. And to get started, you don't need a graphic design team or have to mass produce, store, and ship these yourselves. Instead, in today's video, I'm going to show you how you can leverage AI tools such as MidJourney and print-on-demand platforms such as Printify to quickly set up your own store. Printify has a large range of products including t-shirts, bags, phone cases, mugs, and tumblers. They're a print-on-demand service that allows you to have the product made only after it's ordered and paid for by the customer. Once ordered, Printify will make, pack, and ship the item directly to the customer on your behalf. To get started, let's first take a closer look at some of the top listings from 4 successful Etsy stores. For the first store, their top listing generates $4,500 a month, and we can see that it has a flower print around the tumbler. Their second listing generates $1,500 a month and has positive affirmations and daily reminders around the tumbler. For our second store, their top listing generates $2,300 a month and has Cuban coffee and gossip-themed icons around the tumbler. Another of their top listing generates $1,000 a month with teacher affirmations. And for our third store, their top listing generates over $16,000 a month with mental health affirmations. And their second listing generates nearly $3,000 a month with flower themes. And lastly, for our fourth store, their top listing generates $2,000 a month with teacher affirmations again, and their second listing generates $1,200 a month with floral prints. So I think we can summarize the top themes to be around flowers, coffee and food, and affirmations. With these themes, we'll know what artwork to generate in a moment. But before that, let's first quickly set up our Etsy and Printify accounts. For Etsy, head to etsy.com, which is a marketplace where you can sell all kinds of goods, both physical goods and digital goods. Scroll to the bottom of the page and click Sell on Etsy. Then click Get Started and enter your email address and set up a store to sell. Next, head to printify.com and click Start for free. Again, register with an email and password to begin. Once you've registered, click Connect your store and then select the Etsy sales channel so that we can connect our Printify store to our Etsy store that we previously made. This will allow your Printify products to sync to your Etsy store and your Etsy stores to sync back to Printify. Once connected, let's head to the menu and choose bottles and tumblers. For this example, we'll choose this 20-ounce tumbler. To start a new design, we're going to click Start Designing, and here we can see the dimensions needed for the artwork at 3058 by 1715 pixels. Now that we have our themes from the research and design dimensions from Printify, it's time to start generating our artwork. To do this, we're going to use a tool called MidJourney. From the MidJourney website, click Join the Beta to register. Note, you'll need to sign up for the $10 a month plan in order to get full commercial rights to the artwork. Once in the Discord, open up settings and make sure you choose high stylize to get more interesting outputs and high variations to get distinct designs between the generations. Let's try our first prompt for 3D flower illustrations. We'll also add the tile parameter so the design continuously repeats and specify the artwork size based on what we got from Printify using the AR. And we have our first generation, which already looks great. Because of that tile parameter we added, you can see that these designs repeat seamlessly, and so the design around the tumbler would look continuous rather than having a break at the back. Let's try again, but this time specifying a white background so that we have a contrast between the flowers and the underlying background. Again, I think these options are immediately good. I particularly like this version in the bottom right, so let's click U4 to get the full-size version of this. We can then head back to Printify and drag the artwork onto the tumbler and select Fill to Placeholder. If we then click Preview in the top right, we can see renders of the tumbler with our design with different angles. We can see the design is continuous around the tumbler, and we also get 2 mockups that we can use in our listing. But how can we generate the more popular listings where we saw lots of icons and affirmations? To do that, head back to MidJourney and try a prompt asking for icons as well as a sprite sheet. This tells MidJourney we want many small illustrations together on a single sheet, which will save us a lot of time. Let's now try this for coffee icons and illustrations, and here MidJourney is really giving us some great artwork to use. Remember, once you're done, click the U button to get the full size of each version you like. Then, for each, click Open in Browser, then right-click and save image to your computer. However, even though these images were upscaled, we can see that they are still a little blurry and the lines and edges aren't sharp, so these do need to be further upscaled. My favorite free tool at the moment to upscale is at upscale.media, which allows you to sharpen the images using AI. Simply upload the original image and then make sure the enhanced quality is set to on. And we can see that the edges are now much sharper than the original. Let's go back and do this for the other images. Again, drag them, upload them, and we can see that after processing that the edges and patterns are much sharper after upscaling. This will result in a higher quality print when the tumbler is being made for our customers. Once you're happy with the upscaled version, click download image to save it to your computer. And again, when comparing with the original, we can see clearly that this is sharper, especially when we compare the details such as the leaves on the side of this design. Next, we need our affirmations, so let's use ChatGPT to help us. Register for an account and then ask ChatGPT to suggest a list of short, funny quotes related to coffee. And immediately, it's able to generate many relevant options for us to choose from. Most of these are already good options. And I particularly like this: espresso yourself, this decaf no thanks, this my blood type is coffee, and this coffee first, adulting second. Now we have our graphic icons and affirmations, it's time to compile them into our final coffee design. To do this, we're going to use Canva. Head to canva.com and click sign up to register for a new account with your email. Then click create a design and scroll down to poster. In the top left, select resize and apply the Printify dimensions in pixels of 3058 by 1715 and choose resize. Next, drag the upscaled versions of the MidJourney outputs and put one image per page, and add a final blank page where we'll be compiling the final design. To compile the final design, we're going to be taking small elements from the earlier MidJourney outputs. First, edit the photo and remove the background from each of the original images. Next, we're going to use the crop tool to highlight specific elements and click done. Then right-click and copy the cropped element to your clipboard, then undo to get back the full image, scroll down to the blank page and paste the cropped element from the clipboard. You just need to repeat this process using different elements and pasting them onto the final compiled design page. To add text, click Elements and choose Text Box. Increase the font and choose a fun font like Comic Sans, and input your funny affirmations by copying them over from ChatGPT. I'm going to speed through this process now to fill the canvas, and then finally applying a beige background. The last step is to click Download as a PNG and our final design file is ready. Our final step is to head back to Printify to create the item for listing on Etsy. As before, let's choose the 20-ounce tumbler and drag our new design file onto the page. If we click preview, we can see our tumbler at different angles again, along with the two renders. If you're happy with it, click Save Product. We can then enter the title of the product as well as the description for the product. For now, let's hide this product in the store until we're ready and click Publish. This will then sync over to Etsy. Here, we can add additional images or renders, adjust our thumbnail if necessary, and then if we scroll down, we can make further edits to the title and description and ensure that we've selected the physical product type. Very importantly, we can also add tags to describe our tumbler and help appear in search listings. It's always helpful to look at existing successful listings for inspiration on how they're titling their products and what information they're excluding in their descriptions. If we also scroll to the bottom of the listings, we can see the tags being used for the listings, which we should incorporate relevant ones into our listing. Back on Etsy, the shipping information should automatically populate from Printify, and once you've finished with all the other listing details, click Publish to set the product live. An alternative option to selling actual tumblers via print on demand is to only sell your designs as digital artwork files. If we go back to the Etsy searches for tumblers, we can see all these lower price listings, which are just for the digital designs. Many of these listings and stores are still making significant amounts of money using just the artwork. To do this, first, use the steps we covered earlier to generate your digital files and zip them up if you're offering multiple designs in one listing. Then, create renders using Printify or Canva and other sources. Finally, create your Etsy listing, but make sure to select digital as your product type and attach the zip file as the output customers would receive. This option might be better to get started faster, as you don't need to set up a Printify account straight away and can focus on building and selling listings on Etsy.